is this a tumor? Am I gonna
Oh,
die?
no.
Like, I was going like I escalate my thoughts real
Mhm.
quickly. So I was like, well, if this is something that I'm gonna struggle with, or if this may lead to something worse, I want to do something that I enjoy with my life.
Welcome to Meet the MovieTubers, where we talk to a new YouTuber about where they started, what they've learned along the way, and where they want to go with the future of their channel. Today, we have CeCe Clemons from the CeCe Clemons channel. I'm really excited to talk to you today because I've been excited about your channel since DJ Movie Time Minute actually told me about it. He made a post.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he made a post a while back, like just celebrating other channels. It's like, oh snap, dope! A black woman who's actually doing like the movie tubing thing. I don't see it a lot, and maybe it's just not like coming up in my search history, but I really don't see a lot. So I was really excited to see a black woman do movie tubing, which is super dope. Not only was I excited just about that, but once I checked out your stuff is dope, yo. Like seriously, actually,
Thank you,
your
man.
stuff inspired my stuff because before seeing your channel, I didn't have like the colorful lights in the back or anything like that. So when I was looking at your video, I was like, yo, that joint was dope. Like I want the colorful lights. Yeah,
Yeah, like why
I want
not?
the ambiance. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Like the fact that I inspired you, but anyway, it's like
mhm.
that's like the best thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and not yourself looking better than mine. Like, how dare you?
Yo, these are literally like $16 like little lamps from Amazon. So I
Hmm.
got those, and it took a minute to work out like how they actually work.
It's dope.
Yeah,
Love your setup.
appreciate it, yo. First question, of course, is how are you doing today? Like, how you feeling?
Right now, I'm feeling great. It
Mhm.
was stressful at work, but getting to just indulge and be in the world that I love.
Mhm.
Like, I'm good. I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, this is definitely
Yeah.
like my happy place, like talking to other YouTubers and also just talking about movies. Yo, movies are like it for me. So yeah, really
Yes.
happy to be talking about this. But yeah, we want to get into your journey a little bit. The first question I have for you is the same question I have for everybody else. What was the moment, what was the time where CeCe said to herself, you know what? I feel like I really want to tell other people in a video format what my thoughts, feelings, and concerns are about movies. I love movies, right? So let me go ahead and talk about it. So you type in CeCe Clemons, or if you had another name before that, you type in that and you press save. And then you start putting yourself on camera. Like, what was the moment that led you to that point?
Well, it's actually like just the whole journey to where I'm at now is kind of crazy. But what motivated me? So I have a chronic headache condition, right? So
Okay.
I've had like 24/7 headaches for like over 5 years now. If you look at my videos, you might notice like my eyes are a little like dull or red, or maybe not, but it's because I like constantly have headaches all the time. Every time you see me, I got a headache.
Okay.
So, and I was working at a different job, and I was like, man, like, I escalate my thoughts like 0 to 100. And if is this a tumor? Am I gonna
Oh,
die?
no.
Like, I was going like I escalate my thoughts real
Mhm.
quickly. So I was like, well, if this is something that I'm gonna struggle with, or if this may lead to something worse, I want to do something that I enjoy with my life and not do the normal 9 to 5 job or do what I've been doing. Like, I want to make something of myself, do something that I really enjoy. If something bad happens, or if not,
Right.
at least I get to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So that's really what motivated me.
Got you.
What's funny is when I first started, I wasn't even going to do a movie reaction or show or trailer reaction. I've always watched movies. I've always been what I call myself, a movie crackhead.
Okay.
Always. That has been a thing. Like, as soon
Yo.
as I was an adult and I could pay for my own movie tickets, it
Yeah.
was game over. But I love music
Mhm.
just as much, if not more, than movies. So I was like, I want to be a producer. I want to do music mixes. I love exposing people to different music, different genres of music. I feel like that's what I was put on this earth to do.
Okay.
I even wrote I wrote a paper about that
Nice.
for a scholarship that I actually won.
Hey, let's go.
What?
Okay. But
But the scholarship didn't even cover like the first semester of tuition, so that was a reality check for
what
me.
kind of college?
Yeah, it was Full Sail University.
Bullshit. Yeah, I used to get
Um,
mail from them all the time.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I really like I was just so like, man, this is what I want to do. But reality check,
Mhm.
like, okay, move on. But well, let me do that on YouTube and do music mixes, workout mixes, different styles, different genres. And I only did 2 of those type of videos. And my coworkers, they were like, hey, like it really worked. I don't even like rock. And I was like going hard at the gym. I was like, yes, that's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Nice.
Some of my other coworkers, they were like, "Hey, CeCe, like your reactions to stuff is funny. Like your facial expression sometimes on certain things is hilarious." I'm like, "What?"
It's supposed to be drained once every 4 years. And there's still some space in the toilet, but I don't want it to overflow. So I've been using a bucket.
What are you talking about? Like, you should react to videos on your channel. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, you want to see my face? You want to see me record my face and look at stuff? It was like, yes. I'm still shocked that like people wanted to see that. So I was like, okay.
It be them friends who see what you don't see all the time.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, well, bet. So I reacted to like some weird like drinking gasoline video.
Like what?
I don't even know how real that was, but it's my strange addiction. Yeah, I think the first one was drinking gasoline, and I did a little Zan. And then even when I started the reactions, I was just gonna do music. Like, okay, let me just react to music. That'll be my way of doing it. Copyright guys humbled me real quick, very quick. Like, thought I could, but and still can. But I just pivoted into like, okay, let's do like my strange addiction, and then it led to the first trailer I reacted to was the Joker movie.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I really love movies. I watch them a lot, and copyright guys are striking hard with the music. So let's just do trailer reactions. It just kept going from there. And one of my friends, another coworker, he asked that I react to Mortal Kombat, and I was like, say no more. I just would like to say how much I love the sound effects. Like, it is so amplified. It's crazy. And then when they do their special moves, it's like these sharp sounds. That was very weird, and I should not have done that. But then again, the channel is called Vibin, Weirdo, so maybe it's fitting to do that. It just took off from there for me. The time I started was perfect. The year I started happened to be the year they came out with Mortal Kombat 10. They were releasing a lot of trailers for it just like took me off like real quick. I've been in that in it ever since. So
I'm glad that you actually took the constant headaches that you have, and turned it into, I struggle to say like a positive. Well, you did something positive with it. It was like, yo, if I'm going to be struggling with these headaches and I don't know how long I'm going to be lasting, I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and wallow. Like, I'm going to make sure I go to my doctor, make sure I'm good. But at the same time, I'm going to go and do the things I want to do and not have any regrets left in life. Like, that's dope. Like, even that in and of itself is a good enough reason to do anything. So I'm glad that you decided to press into that for sure.
Yeah, I just like, regardless of what happens, I can't keep complaining about doing the same thing if I don't do anything about it, regardless 100%. Of headaches or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually have an appointment tomorrow. Make sure I'm still good. Nice. So, and I forgot to mention the Vibin Weirdo. So that was an accident. I posted a video on Snapchat with my sisters. They were dancing, and I just put Vibin space Weirdos with that emoji. And then I looked at it like a few weeks later, and I was like, oh, a minute now. I like the way that looks together. Like Vibin Weirdo. Like, that's me. That's what I do. So that inspired the name, which I've changed. We can get into that later. But that's what inspired like the whole start of everything.
Oh, that's what's up. Yo, I'm telling you, like what we're doing right now, like the Meet the MovieTubers thing, was also mad random. Like, I was doing a live thing with a friend, and I was like, yo, like, I really don't even know what to talk about. Actually, what happened was, I was having a midlife crisis or a crisis about like my channel in general. I was like, I don't know, man. I might want to do live streams. I might want to do this. It's like, but I feel like I can't do it. You know what? I'm gonna do a live stream in like 30 minutes. Like, you gonna do it in 30 minutes? Like, yeah. It was like, and then he hopped on with me, and it went great. And then the next week we did it again. I was like, oh, last week I was supposed to ask you about your YouTube journey because I was making up stuff at the time, and I happened to have all three of my homies on there with me, and I asked each one of them about it, flipped it, made it Meet the MovieTubers. Was like, yo, I actually want to do this, like, ask other people too. So that's how we got from there to you, just because I put myself out there to try something, and it turned into something else.
That's the best way. You get curious, try different things, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I just want to note how grateful I am to be on your MovieTuber series.
I'm more grateful, honestly, that you actually decided to come on here because, like I said, I think you're dope. So you just accepting is like the best for me, yo. But yeah. So, second question. Let's get into it. What have you learned about yourself since you started your YouTube journey?
I've learned a lot about myself, man. I guess the main thing that I've learned about myself is I've learned that it's okay for me to be myself. Like 100%, or like probably like 90%, maybe not 100. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be myself because like growing up, just experiences in life and rejection or fear of rejection. I've always thought like if I ever show my true self to someone 100%, they won't want to be around me anymore. They'll walk away. Yeah. And it wasn't until I started my channel, people liking my reaction to some of my best videos, being me acting like just crazy.
All metal wants to be a sword.
Okay. All right then. Or like on level 11 out of 10, people love that. And it's like, wow, okay, it's okay to be that way. And honestly, if people don't like who you are when they see you like yourself authentically, then maybe they shouldn't be around you anyway.
It's not for you. It's not for them, rather.
Yeah, and it's something my partner, my boyfriend, that's been in my corner from the beginning here, that he reminds me, because you know we have those roller coaster moments of imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Yep.
A term that's very overused. People using it too much. But creators, like, we all deal with it.
Yep.
Like, man, can you just use like 5 vocabulary words I can't even think of to describe a movie? Like, what am I doing with my life right now? I'm not even a good movie reviewer. It happens all the time with me. And I like every month I debate, should I keep doing this? But what he reminds me is what we do is needed.
Yeah.
Like people seeing your videos really makes my day, and other creators' videos. Yeah, for real. Yeah, no cap or anything like that. Yeah. And the same for me. Sometimes it's hard for me to fathom like people feel the same way about me as I do of other creators. And even you mentioning earlier like how rare I am. Like in what I'm doing, even the box office, like my demographic is usually at the bottom for movie going.
Gotcha.
And even doing this, so it's like maybe other Black women seeing someone like me like indulge in the movie world, maybe it can be inspired. And like, oh, it's not weird to want to go to the movies every week, twice a week, 3 times a week. You know, it's okay. You know, but that may inspire others. So yeah, I don't know if I directly answered your question, but
no.
That's what I've learned the most.
You definitely did. Like what you told me was that what you've learned is to be yourself on camera. Like if you're not 100% yourself, and sometimes you can't be 100% yourself, because I can't be 100% myself on camera, because like I'd be saying nigga way more than I do in my video.
Yeah, I would have to cut out a lot of words on my channel if I was 100%.
These niggas, like all that. So I gotta dial it back a little bit. But yeah,
we gotta YouTube. We want to make sure YouTube pays us eventually for our work. So that's the goal. I mean, I love what I do, but that's the dream right there. For that to happen.
Oh yeah, if I were to become like monetized and actually like support my family, I would be super happy, because I love doing this more than I love doing anything else. Let me ask you this. So in terms of changing your name from Vibin Weirdo to CeCe Clemons, how did that come about?
All right, so let me tell you about it. Okay. That's really not serious. I just had to add some sauce to it. I've been thinking about changing my name for probably the last 2 years. I've been doing my channel for 4 years. I started getting analytical and noticed a lot of other channels that are big, especially in the reaction world, have their names. Okay. If it's just one person. Yeah. Some know, but most of them like just has their name. CeCe is actually not like my real name. That's just my nickname. My real name is Charissa Clemons, and it's spelled with a CH. And people really struggle with that growing up. Really? So CeCe, yes, you'd be surprised.
Doesn't sound difficult at all. Maybe being Black too.
Charissa, you know. CeCe was born. That was just my initials, but I like to 2 C's is boring. We're gonna add an E after that. Just one.
Makes sense.
That just developed. At first it was 2, but then it's funny how things just evolve over time. But eventually just CeCe, and then that's what I went by at work. Like everybody calls me CeCe, and I felt like it had a good ring to it. Like even before I started my channel, I was like CeCe Clemons. That just like I'm destined for greatness. That sounds like a famous name. Like it just it's going to work, even if it doesn't. Like it just has a good ring to it.
It's like I think it's called alliteration kind of thing. It's like the Peter Parker, the CeCe Clemons, the Miles Morales. Like it's the same like letter kind of thing. And also, I do want to tell you this too. So when I first went out to like contact you, I was like, oh, she got the second C capitalized too. Let me make sure I capitalize that second C so I'm not being disrespectful.
Hey, it wouldn't matter to me, but I appreciate it. It'd be like the little thing. But yeah, so I've always went by that name. Even did on my introduction on my videos. I had trouble with trademarking Vibin Weirdo. There was a point where I thought I did.
Okay.
And it didn't work. I didn't.
Oh wow.
And like that process took like 2 years just for it to not go through, and it was very depressing. I was sad, but it was a learning experience because I put some money into that. It was a very humbling experience, and I just took it as a sign. Like my partner, he was like, "Hey, like people aren't watching you because your channel name is Vibin Weirdo," and I was like, "You right, okay." He said, "People like you for you, like your CeCe." And then he told me, he was like, "If you change it," because I was going to change it anyways, I just need validation sometimes. So I was like, okay.
You know what's funny about that? I'm sorry to cut you off, but the exact same thing that you're saying, like it needing validation to like kind of confirm what you're already thinking. Why I reached out to you. I was like, yo, I'm thinking about changing my channel name to Kenny Sparks, and I'm not really sure. Like, so yeah, people at home, just so you know, a big reason why I changed my name to Kenny Sparks, I felt the encouragement to do so, is because of CeCe Clemmons. So
hey, that's what I'm here for.
Yep.
To inspire. I'm just doing my thing, but I was already thinking about changing it, even during the trademark process, and I just wanted to feel more me and not be a slave to a name or to the Vibin Weirdo name, even though that's very accurate of the kind of person I am. That will always be me.
Yeah.
Those things all together just led me to change it. And it was like, hey, if people are really like mad and won't watch my content because I changed my name, they shouldn't have been with me from the beginning. Right. So be it.
And that's something we struggle with a lot, like us YouTubers. Like, hey, I changed the color of my background. Well, people read the channels like, no, they like you.
Yes. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah. So that's why when you reached out to me, I was like, "Ooh, I'm happy to help." I was just dealing with this exact thing. Yeah. I gave you words of encouragement because I already know like how it is. Like it's like that's your baby. Like that's what started you on your journey. Yep. You don't want to lose it, but you're ready for change. You're ready to evolve. You just do it. And I know for me, when I changed it, could just be other factors, but I just feel like my channel growth has went up just faster and more than it did before, because I did Vibin Weirdo. I've done my channel for like over 4 years, and I've just hit my 1,000. So I'm in this for the long haul. Yeah, for real. I hope you didn't think I was gonna stop, because that's not an option. What are you doing?
Nothing. But it's not an option.
Congratulations, man. No, seriously, that's a big deal.
It's hard work. Yeah, it's tough, and there's other people that have access to this all day, 24/7, and it's hard not to compare. Like, oh man, they just posted that. Okay, like I have to wait till I get off work. They have access to this 24/7. This is their job. I just have to work at my pace and not go crazy, because it can really affect you personally. In your personal life. So yeah, definitely.
For sure. Definitely. Like one of the things that I had to readjust after doing YouTube for a couple months, I've only been doing this for like 6 months, is I'm spending a lot of time on this, and I'm spending less time with my wife. I'm spending a lot of time on this, and I'm spending less time doing the things I actually need to do to keep this house upright, right? So it was a big like, hey, I know you like doing this, Ken, but you also need to take care of the people who really matter. Like that was a big conversation. It was a big thing I had to come to grips with as well. Yeah,
it's important to have that balance, especially with this not being like primary jobs right now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Just working at our own pace. I have to remind myself of that. Like constantly, like, hey, you got a whole boyfriend out here. You got a whole like family. My sisters, I'm very involved in my sister's life, especially the baby one.
Oh my God!
it's important to balance that, and then time for ourselves. Like this can really run you into the ground mentally if you don't just step back and like, okay, I want to grow, I want to do my thing, but I cannot have my personal life like completely destroyed because of it. So it's tough. It's always hard because we algorithm.
So, real talk. Before we came into this, I had just came back from seeing Hunger Games, which was actually dope. I actually really enjoyed it.
It was really good.
Yeah, because I'm not a super Hunger Games fan. Actually, I didn't even see the 4th movie yet. And the reason I bring it up is because of like you said, the pressure, the algorithm, right? So for me, I know it just came out Friday, so I want to get it out tomorrow. But I have an interview with you. I got the Eagles game coming on in 4 minutes. Don't worry about it. We'll be good. I got the Eagles game coming on in like 4 minutes and all the other stuff. So I'm like, I don't think I want to stress myself out by doing all of that, trying to write, record, edit tonight, and then try to post. No, that's just not going to happen.
And that's okay. Like, I can't compete with Chris Stuckman.
Right.
Like, this dude is the GOAT. He was doing this before it's popular. Yep. Like he, and even he had to do things later because he has a child and he's working on his own thing outside of YouTube. Even like last night I recorded it. I was dog tired because I recorded a show. I recorded 2 episodes of a show.
Nice.
And I was I'm excited. And I was starting to edit and it was like 10 o'clock or after 10. And I was like, I think I need to stop. I'm going to be unhappy tomorrow when I wake up because I only had 4 hours of sleep.
I used to look at like Real Rejects when they used to do trailer reactions. Like, how the hell do they have these things out so fast? So I used to try to compete with them. Not compete with them, but try to do the same thing. They have whole editing teams behind, right? They got they record and ship it off. I have to do literally everything.
Yeah, I love Real Rejects. I watch them all the time.
They're dope, man.
But yeah, it's not even like, it won't even be a competition. It's a like motivating factor thing. And it's like, okay, I got to get it. That's going to help my algorithms. Like,
and then when you do that and you actually make it, but you still don't get views, you're like,
that's the real part right there. It's like, I did all of that and I got 50 views in 3 days. Wow. We all as creators, but I know me personally, I have to just accept that. Like, it's okay if it's later. That's fine. Like, I gotta be okay outside of YouTube. There's so many creators outside of the movie world that like have really like terrible personal life and they stop YouTube altogether. Me taking breaks or not posting a video immediately, that's me preserving myself to do this long term. I want to do this like as long as I can, as long as I'm physically capable.
And to that point, let's move on to our third question. When you're talking about you want to do this long term, what do you want your channel to be like? What's the ultimate version of the CeCe Clemons YouTube channel?
You know Corey Kenshin? Have you heard of him?
I haven't. I can't say I have. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, he's in the gaming world.
Okay.
He does gaming. He has like over 10 million subscribers.
Whoa.
Black man with an afro.
There we go.
Like, I'm not even a gamer and I watch his stuff. He recently was featured in Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Oh, that's the guy in the cab.
When I saw I saw him in the trailer, I was like, that's it. Like, that would be the ultimate like tier for me. Like, to be able to do what I do and like somebody to feature me in like a skit or a show or a movie, like, hey, we love your personality or whatever, and to feature me in something like that, I would probably like pass out. That'd probably be the day I die of a heart attack. Like, I don't know if it could get any better than that, honestly. But of course, still being able to do my channel and do reactions, but for that to lead into me actually being a part of films and movies, that I would cry.
Like, you definitely want to be a part of the fandom that you enjoy, so that makes perfect sense, yo. My last 2 questions: what is a movie that you've seen in your life that has either inspired you or challenged you?
Inspired me or challenged me? Really, I'll have to go with my favorite movie of all time, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, like that was the first rated R movie my mom and dad let me watch.
That is definitely a rated R movie.
So excited for it. I see why they waited.
Yep.
But it's like, even after that, my mom wouldn't let me watch other rated R movies, so she just made an exception for that one.
Okay.
Seeing a woman, and I know some people don't care, or there's like a lot of talk as of recent with that, but growing up, seeing a woman just kick ass and just fight and look so dope and like just undefeatable, like in a way, and being strong. That changed my life. Being able to see someone do it at that level. And it was ridiculous. The fighting scenes were so unrealistic and crazy.
Definitely.
Blood, like fake blood. You could see it clear as day. But I didn't care. It just like, it really did something for me.
Yeah. Just like you mentioned, people have been talking a lot about the importance of seeing women on film or the unimportance of it, which I don't know how you get there. However, like for me, this is what we mean by when we say like representation matters. You saw a woman and a bunch of women, actually, that movie's full of women kicking it.
Yeah.
And you were like, yo, I'm inspired by this. I love this. Like I see myself in it. I recognize it. Like it's dope. Like this is quite literally what you're describing is quite literally what I experienced when I went to go see Into the Spider-Verse. And like the first couple seconds of seeing Miles singing, drawing at his desk, and then talking to his mom and his dad on his way out to school, and then talking to people in his neighborhood. I'm like, yo, I can't believe, like I started tearing up. Like I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. Like, and then for the second movie to be as dope as it is, there's such a big thing about representation actually mattering. The people who say that it doesn't matter, most of the time they've been represented in 90% of the things that are out. So of course it doesn't matter to you because you've always been represented.
Yeah, you can't relate.
Right.
Like even growing up, all of my favorite movies, like it fell in line with that, like Ultra, what was it? Underworld, Resident Evil.
Underworld is underrated, actually.
It really is. Yeah. It really is. I watched all of them. It's just like, wow, seeing a woman like fight, that's so cool. Like, I love this. But very inspiring. Wonder Woman, like, you see Powerpuff Girls back there. Wonder Woman is my favorite, the first one.
Nice.
My favorite superhero movie of all time.
Oh.
It's just, just things that's always been like ingrained in me since I was little. But yeah, representation matters. Some people don't like it or they want to boycott films that display the representation. There are some projects that are a bit overhaul or overkill. But overall, like, I welcome it.
One of the things that I think is a issue with that conversation a lot of times is there's this idea that if you do put representation in something, it better be the best thing that you've ever seen. There was a time when like black quarterbacks were not seen as a good thing. And then there's a time where there were black quarterbacks, but if you're not like in the top 1% of the best quarterbacks in the league, people are like, well, you know, he's not as good as, you know, his white counterparts or this or that. But meanwhile, you have quarterbacks who are white who are filling every single level of quality, right? You have bad white quarterbacks. You have mediocre white quarterbacks. You have great white quarterbacks. But if you're a black quarterback, you better be the best in the league, right? And the same thing happens with movies like where minorities or minority-led or whatever, or woman-led especially, where it's like, oh, it wasn't like Endgame. It shouldn't exist if it's not the level of Endgame. And
that's so unfair.
Exactly, but that's exactly what they mean. Like, you need to justify your reason for being here when other people just have to show up and hopefully good.
You put that together beautifully. It's unfair, and it's like, I know just most recently the Marvels, like I can think of that. I didn't even know the director was a black woman until like a few days before I watched it.
Yeah, neither copy.
I didn't even know that. They didn't promote. They didn't push that out.
Yeah,
which I wasn't mad at. Like they're not like trying to make this a go woke. Right. I'm tired of hearing that. But they weren't really pushing that as like, this is why you need to watch it. Overall, I know you didn't enjoy it as much as I did,
no,
but
I didn't.
Understandably.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with the women being involved, women leading it, women directing it. All that stuff. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You should be allowed to participate.
Yeah, like watch it and then like figure it out after, like watch it and then come up with your decision if you like it or not. Like that's fair. That's all I ask. Yep. But yeah, that was like more of like a, not a wake up call, but just like a realization of kind of where we still are when it comes to that. The movie, I don't think it's the worst or anything like that. Even though I really loved it. Yeah. I really loved it a lot. I watched it 3 times.
Right. Nice.
It's just fun, and it's not 2+ hours long. It works for me. But yeah, even with that, like
Mhm.
people just refusing to watch it just for their existence alone.
Right.
That feels unfair. And it's like it kind of felt like a slap in the face, like, okay, we're still here at this point.
Mhm.
It's 2023 and people are upset that we have a movie like this.
Yeah.
Spewing negativity about how this is the worst and all of that.
Mhm.
But the funny thing is, for a Black female director, this is the highest grossing movie ever for a Black female director.
That's dope.
And that, for the lowest performing MCU movie, it's like, that's why we need movies like this. Because obviously there's a gap there. If this is the highest for a Black female, but the lowest for MCU, like, come on now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
representation in general matters.
Mhm.
If the movie is bad, it's bad, and I'll admit it.
Right.
If it's good, it's good, and I'll
Yeah.
admit it. So it'll take a while before we get we get there, probably after death. But we'll
Yeah.
we'll see.
My last question for you is: 2023 is almost over. What's your favorite movie that you've seen this year?
When it comes to me and favorites, that's very difficult. I'm a very difficult person for favorites.
No, if you want to give me your top 3, that could work as well.
The Marvels, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I'll say Dungeons and Dragons. How I rate that is, if I go to the movies like more than once and I want to, I'm not doing it because I'm bored and have nothing else to do.
Right.
And I enjoy it every time. Probably gonna be in my top for the year. So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, when CeCe,
she killed it.
Her music, her theme music, like her song, like I actually like listen to it on the regular.
Yo, that album, the soundtrack, fire.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That was that's got to be still to me like the best movie this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeons and Dragons was just really funny.
It was a lot of fun. I
like
really
to
good
laugh.
time with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing. Even like the Marvels, it was a funny film to me. I laughed throughout, and as soon as I finished watching it, I was like, okay, when am I gonna watch this again? I gotta get that second fix.
Yeah.
And then after the second time, I was like, we do it one more time.
Right.
Usually, when I watch a movie for a third time, about 20 minutes into it, I'm like, okay, my cup runneth over. I'm done. But yeah, those are like my top 3 for right now for the year.
Dope.
Hey y'all, I'm CeCe Clemmons, aka Vibin Weirdo. I do movie reactions, trailer reactions. That's going to be on my channel. You can follow me at CeCe Clemmons. That's CeCe Clemons. That's on my YouTube. On Instagram, it's CeCe_Clemmons, spelled the same way. Would love for you guys to check my channel out, and thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this edition of MovieTubers. I had such a great time talking to CeCe. Check out her channel, watch her videos, make sure you like, and if you love her stuff, subscribe. All right, y'all. See you next time.
Peace.